Alright, so last time we did this, we actually had our good old boy, the Death Claw, up in here, tearing through the mansion and just wasting its inhabitants pretty easily. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is the second to last video of the Wave 6 Kaiju content here. And we are having Selene for our second to last video. So without further ado, please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends, and let's talk about it. So obviously, the entirety of Resident Evil Mansion, one of the weirdest horror houses I have ever had to study and watch. Again, what is this place here? But Selene does have her advantages here. She's able to move in the blink of an eye and actually able to appear as a blur towards lycans and vampires alike here, even to some of the members of the Nordic Covenant, which actually specialize in this type of super speed here. And she's also able to push over vans and take attacks from a uber lycan named Quint, who is able to flip over cars, putting her around the small building levels in terms of attack potency, which is all you really need to get through here. Now, Selene does have some advantages here. She's an experienced warrior. She is a martial artist. She is immune to venoms and poisons that would otherwise be deadly to even her own kind. So, yeah, I don't even want to think about any poison that actually comes to, humans here. She's also very skilled here. And for her gadgets, we'll be giving her her 2 pistols, her sword, because again, she always ends up with a sword one way or another here, right? We'll give her her shurikens, all right? We'll give her shurikens as well here. And we'll give her her grenades. So with that being said here, she will have everything she really needs to just kind of get through this. She'll have all her gadgets and gears, and she'll have her sword. So she'll be going through the game the same way the Deathclaw has, and she'll also be partnered with Jill, because I love Jill. And, oh yeah, we'll also give her her shotgun as well here. We'll basically give her her, basic gear she's actually been seen using throughout the entirety of the Underworld franchise here. And keep in mind, when it comes to her shurikens, she will throw multiple at you. And, yeah, not even bat an eyelash on it. So with that being said here, she's partnered up with Jill. And Jill will also do, her basic parts here like she did in the last game and stuff like that there. And I think that covers it in all honesty. So we'll be going through this, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy this here. And please do note that for the Wave 7 superhero content, I do have 4 deleted videos that I will be bringing back. And some of you guys may like it. It does have the likes of characters like Hellboy, Sonic, and other characters. So let's start off with the very simple one, the dogs here. Now, the dogs here in Resident Evil are just straight up nasty and vicious, taking out a pilot at the very beginning of the game here. Or I think it was a pilot or just one of the members here. So Selene honestly could just, grab Jill and whoever she comes with here, like Barry and Wesker, and just beeline it to the house pretty easily. She could even make it by herself there. However, she would definitely be able to kill these dogs with little to no difficulty here. She could either throw shurikens, which are pretty accurate because of her aim here, and she could easily, just throw a knife at their heads, killing them instantly, because that is what she normally does here. So she'll be able to get through the dogs, no problem. Next off, we do have the zombies. Now, the zombies here are pretty simple and standard enemy attack type here. They're pretty quick, but also pretty slow as well here. I don't see Selene struggling with them at all here. The best that the zombie could probably get in here is probably like a attempt at a bite here. And that's if Selene just doesn't flat out manhandle it, which she will here, considering she has broken full-grown men's spines here. And considering zombies and how they are here, she should really have no problem just either stabbing it to bits here, or just, breaking the zombie over her knee and just baning it. Again, either way, somebody's spine is getting broke here, and it's definitely not going to be Selene's here. So with that being said here, she completes that, and we'll actually talk about the Crimson Heads a lot earlier than we should have here. Crimson Heads are just stronger, faster, and tougher variants of zombies, kind of like Dead Island. Except, not as bad, right? Crazy, ain't it? And so with that being said here, we do have the sheer fact that Crimson Heads do have a larger attack potency, with them having, more claws and stuff like that there. But again, Selene could just manhandle this one, no problem. I mean, I don't even completely think that these zombies are, or these Crimson Heads, excuse me, are as strong as Lycans or enhanced Lycans, where Selene has straight up drop kicked these guys like they're absolutely nothing, broken their spines, even tore out their spines with her fingers. I know, it's crazy, ain't it? Now, the next thing we do have are the death max here, and, well, we could just have Selene just back up Jill in this situation. Jill winds up getting all 4 of the death max and stuff to unlock the doors in there. But then there is the final death mask, which actually goes into Yawn. So let's talk about Yawn here. Yawn is actually amphibious, something I actually forgot to note in the last part, or at least I think I did. Please let me know down below. And the sheer fact that we have, flamethrowers in this game here, so she could easily pick one up or just grab it from Jill, or Jill just throws it to her and just winds up, blasting and definitely killing Yawn here. However, I feel like that's a little bit cheap in my opinion here, and I actually want to use Selene with her gadgets and abilities rather than just giving her someone or something that'll just have at it. So the way I kind of see this happening is that Selene actually waits for Yawn to open his mouth and tosses a grenade down his throat, killing him. All right, or hear me out right, she actually utilizes her shurikens in I almost said Zon, in Yawn's mouth here. She just starts, attacking his mouth and stuff like that there. But you might be like, oh, what about the venom? She's immune to it. If she's immune to venom that could poison her own species on a biological level, then what's Yawn gonna do? I mean, Yawn might just, strike at her. Selene could just dodge and toss a grenade in his mouth, or just pretty much do what she did to Quint. Just kind of like leap around him and shove a grenade into his body and just have him explode from the inside out. Now, there is a bit more context with Quint, but that is how she got him because of his regeneration. And considering Yawn's amphibious nature actually allows him to regenerate from deadly wounds that would otherwise, kill regular normal snakes and stuff like that there, I don't see a problem with Selene being able to puncture or penetrate the snake's skin with an amphibious snake's skin, right? So in all honesty, because of Selene's strength and because of her speed as well, because Yawn wouldn't even be able to hit her with the poison anyway, Selene should be able to move on. Now, next up, we do have the Sharks in Neptune, and this can just kind of go the same as it does in the games here. Selene could easily blitz around the Sharks here. She might be able to take out a few because, again, she will use her sword here. And I could actually see her, utilizing some of the Sharks that try to come up and beach themselves just a little bit, or at least beach their heads on some of the lab equipment down below here, and that she just, stabs them in the head. Like head stabs them, and that's it here. But again, she should be able to drain it out and stuff like that, and then just have them be electrocuted here. She's way too fast for them to even perceive. If not, she could just get this level over with, and she and Jill could honestly just move on here. I don't think there's really any argument to the sheer fact that they should be able to move on here. Now, next we have Plant 42 here, and well, while not like the Deathclaw, which could just climb up there and just rip the plant's core out here, this one actually did take a little bit of work because, again, they got snatched up in the leaves and stuff there, or snatched up in the vines and stuff, and then obviously burnt to a crisp, right? So with that being said here, the way I could actually see Selene taking care of this here is actually when she gets snatched up by the plant, she actually just throws her sword into it. And considering how hard she's been able to throw simple knives through an entire lichen skull, like embedding it in it, and plus, we've seen how she deals with swords and just stabbing them through her opponents here, and well, I don't see any problem with her just doing that. I really don't. It's in her own capabilities, or she could probably just get close enough to the plant to where she could just toss a grenade in it, and she should be able to be fine taking it. But again, if we had to add, Jill there as well here, she could just burn it down with a flamethrower and just be done with it. Now, on to the next one, and I believe it's the Hunters. These guys are actually a lot more terrifying in Resident Evil 3, which yeah, I never realized just how worse they were in Resident Evil 3 here. Now the hunters are basically just like, they're not slow. They're not. They're not. But they're not gonna be able to really get around Selene. But again, considering how the space is like so compacted in a close quarters like setting, I don't see Selene, having any difficulty. But she's definitely gonna have to be a lot more careful, and she won't be able to really speed around the death claws, unlike in some of the more open areas of the mansion here. So with that being said here, yeah, I don't see Selene having any struggle. She could just flip over the hunters and just shoot them from above here, because since she's done that to Lycans and it's worked before. Plus, she's a very good shot, so these might be like headshots down, like through the spine and everything. Plus, the best way I could probably see a hunter likely getting an advantage over Selene is if she just really is off guarded here, but that should be impossible here. She might just slide right between his legs and just slice it down there. Yeah, no, painful imagery, right? But next off, we got our boy, the Black Tiger, and its Spiderlings. Starting off with the Spiderlings, they're pretty fodder-ish. Plus, I do think these guys deserve a return in Resident Evil games. But, yeah, we don't need to talk about that here. But anyway, with Selene being able to, kill these guys pretty easily, she should be able to shoot them probably in their eyes, or maybe just kind of do what she did to the security guards and just blitz through and slice them with her sword pretty easily here. I mean, it's graphic, probably a bit messier than some humans, because again, these are giant spiders at the end of the day. But yeah, she'll be able to get through this and get around Black Tiger. Now next off we have is Barry's Betrayal. Now this does depend on Selene's mood. If she is not feeling, like Barry is being concrete, or she's in a pissed off mood, she's going to kill him and feed on him. There's no if and a buts about it. But let's just say that Barry, Selene's in a good mood right now. She's been doing pretty well here. She's not injured or doesn't have any reason to feed on Barry. So this then just leads to her just pimp slapping Barry, like hardly, probably drawing blood from his mouth or breaking his jaw here, and just taking his gun. Then Lisa Trevor shows up, and I might be a little petty about this one here, but considering they throw Lisa Trevor's apparent bodies of her parents over here, here's my thing, right? And this may sound like I'm being petty, but what if, when Lisa Trevor goes to the edge to follow the corpses here, Selene drop kicks her over the edge? And again, that is one of her best signature moves here, where she just straight up like drop kicks, Marius into the side of a cliffside here, or the side of a mountain. But yeah, I can definitely see Selene being penned up to do that. Next up are the Chimera Ant Soldiers, or, well, I think I said that on accident. But definitely the Chimeras here. And again, whose idea was this? I understand these are military purposes now, but just why? A human fly hybrid is just over the top. But Selene gets through this like low to no difficulty. But next up we have our Tyrants. Now, Tyrant itself here is honestly not too much of a problem, as you can attack the more vulnerable areas on his body here. And I actually found this out myself here. I never realized that Nemesis was actually a Tyrant itself. Yeah, I actually never realized that here. But considering Selene should be able to use her things like her shotgun, definitely utilize her sword, she should easily be able to get around it. Even in the laboratory, she could probably slip through some of the more, I guess you could say, cracks and stuff, or, some of the more open areas between the tubes and stuff, and just kind of get around it here. Then there's Wesker. Yeah, she kind of just breaks him in half like a Kit Kat bar, and probably feeds on him. I'm not sure if feeding for a vampire in the Resident Evil verse is kind of like, a good thing here. But overall here, yeah, Selene actually does beat Resident Evil Mansion. I would probably say the only difficulty she would probably have would maybe be the sharks and the hunters, because of the more condensed and aquatic-like spaces. But overall here, I do think she could overcome it with her speed. But that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like, and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.